So Ryan Pace and the Chicago Bears made a lot of aggressive moves this offseason. I wanted to take the time in this video to discuss those. My thoughts in this video coming up. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today's topic, Chicago Bears, their rookies, and their signings. First rookie, Justin Fields. Obviously, the biggest topic in Chicago right now, their new franchise quarterback. Everybody's anticipating this kid's debut. I can't wait. Personally, for me, I can't wait for him to hit the field. This kid has a lot of upside. He has a lot of talent, and he's just... I would never imagine he would have fell to us. But enough of me rambling. Let's get into it. Justin Fields, obviously, as you know, Ohio State quarterback. This guy was a Heisman finalist. Played in the national championship game, Sugar Bowl, all that stuff. He has all the accolades in college. I'm going to give you some of them right now. So, obviously, his best season, statistically, his best season came in 2019, where he passed for over 3,000 yards. He had 41 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions. That was his best statistical season. Not even to mention his rushing averages. He had 484 yards on the ground and had 10 touchdowns on the ground. So, he can basically do everything you ask of him as a quarterback. A lot of similar stuff Matt Nagy runs on this team is going to be similar to what they ran at Ohio State. 2019 was his peak year for statistics, but for me, 2020 was his best year. I saw so much improvement from that last year. And this guy was a Heisman finalist in 2019. Let's not get it twisted. He was a Heisman finalist, but the progression he showed from 2019 to 2020 was miraculous. His reads were better. He could find receivers. He was going over different pass coverages. He was reading the defense well. And he just made overall improvements to his game. And he also learned the playbook better. That's one underrated aspect of him, which I think will really help him on this team, is that he's a teacher. He's teachable. He'll learn the playbook that Matt Nagy gets him. He's already written down flashcards. He's highly intelligent. He's going to be perfect for what they run. The Bears built this team perfect for him. I was going to bring up, when I had the original concept for this video, I was going to bring up what they could have done, during the offseason, what other trades they can make, even though they have a very good base roster. But they don't need to make any other moves, in my opinion. I know I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about Julio Jones and all that stuff, but they really don't need that. Now I'm going to explain to you why. This team is built perfectly for what Justin Fields wants to do. He wants to stretch the ball downfield. He wants to get to guys like Marquise Goodwin, who I think is going to be one of the biggest signings for the Chicago Bears. Darnell Mooney, has a lot of talent, a lot of upside, good route running. He's always going to be open. Obviously, you have your superstar wide receiver. In my opinion, Allen Robinson is a superstar wide receiver. They drafted more offensive linemen who, in my opinion, Tevin Jenkins is the best offensive tackle in this draft. Not because of his overall ability, it's just the way he plays. He plays mean. He has the attitude like, you're not going to get to my quarterback. And if you do, I'm going to have a problem with you. He's going to make sure to protect the quarterback. And that was one of the needs the Chicago Bears desperately needed to fix coming into this offseason. They had some problems coming into this offseason that they addressed. Kyle Fuller got let go, but they replaced him with Desmond Trufant. And another steal of the draft, which not many people are talking about, Thomas Graham Jr. from Oregon. This kid has ball hawking ability, great instincts, great awareness. He knows the passing game well. I think wherever they can squeeze him in at during position battles, because I know it's going to be hard for them, because I know Graham is more like an outside corner. He's not going to play too much in the slot. Maybe he can, but I didn't see too much of it when he played at Oregon. He did sit out last season, so that's one of the reasons he fell. He was supposed to be like a 3rd or 4th round draft pick. But either way, good steal. They drafted guys like Daz Newsome, who's another favorite of mine. They called this guy, what's his name, the human highlight film back in North Carolina. If you watched North Carolina's games last year, Sam Howell used to go to this guy. He was like his go-to guy. He was not very fast. And he has a limited route tree, but when he gets his hands on that ball, it's coming down with him. You know, I see a lot of people saying he struggles with drops. He struggles with his speed overall, getting open. But they said the same thing about Mooney last year, and we saw what he can do. He has the potential to blow up this season. There's another guy, Larry Bourne, the other tackle, if they play him there. The other tackle, again, another mean mauler. This guy played in Missouri. He played against a very good Alabama team last year, which was obviously national champions. Good pass rush, good defense. Have all NFL-ready players on that defensive line and didn't give up any pressures. So he's another guy that they drafted who has a lot of upside, depending on where they play him and what they see him as. I know his arms are kind of little to be a tackle, but they're saying the same thing about Tevin Jenkins too. That's another thing. I personally don't think their arms will affect them in any way. I just think their attitudes will get them to where they need to go. You know, they had a lot of issues on that offensive line last year. Charles Leno, you know, he was getting older. He's been a good, solid tackle in the league for a couple years, but he wasn't where he was in that 2018 season. And then Bobby Massey, again, another good guy, great tackle, but he wasn't what they necessarily needed. So, with this team, you have other guys that can. Justin Fields is going to be one to make plays. I feel like they're going to run a more pass-happy scheme, and I feel like they're going to stretch the ball down the field more with these receivers. You just have to give him time. There are some things Justin struggles with, though, and I want to get into that. If you remember back at Ohio State, he played at Indiana. When he played against Indiana, I should say, that game showed some of his struggles. Sometimes he'll miss an assignment on the line. Sometimes pressure will be right in his face, and he won't see it until the last minute. 2 is he holds the ball a little long for NFL standards. There were some plays where he would hold the ball for 10, 12 seconds, and that can obviously in the NFL, that's not going to cut it in the NFL, and that can easily be fixed, but that's not going to cut it in the NFL where you're going against elite pass rushers, especially in the NFC. You got guys like Aaron Donald, who else? Shaquille Barrett. In our own division, Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith with the Packers. So he's going to have to get that ball out a little bit faster. Sometimes he tries to do too much with the ball. If a play is not there, don't try to force it. Don't try, throw into double coverage. I know he's an aggressive-minded quarterback. He always wants to stretch the ball downfield, but sometimes I think Nagy will tell him this, sometimes you need to settle with what's underneath. Take the 5-yard gain when you get it and take the big shots when you need to. You don't have to do too much with the ball. Value the ball is what I'm saying. Now, the running game. Running game will be even better this year. David Montgomery, obviously a top 5 rusher last year. He rushed for over 1,000 yards. He'll be even better this year. He'll have better line blocking. He's seeing the holes better as his career is progressing. And he breaks a lot of tackles. And that will also be the key for Justin Fields' success, is a good run game. The Bears in their past, 3 years or so, their run game has been solid, but it's not where it needed to be. Sometimes they wouldn't run the ball as much in certain games. Sometimes they run it too much because they couldn't throw necessarily. But I think with Justin Fields and these new rookies, it will kind of take the pressure off of Fields to know that he has a 1,000-yard rusher in the backfield. Not to mention a 1,000-yard pass catcher on the other side of the field with Allen Robinson, and another potential 1,000-yard pass catcher in Darnell Mooney. Defense is next. Roquan Smith. Beast. Period. This kid was labeled as one of the top, 25 players? How old? Under 25? He's under 25, and he was listed 15 as one of the top NFL players, at least on that side of the ball. he's going to be one of the cornerstones in the middle of the field. Obviously, you got the Khalil Max. Keem Hicks will be fully healthy. He was never really healthy like that. He struggled with injuries. Who else? Jalen Johnson. Another beast. Another steal. Ryan Pace just keeps finding these steals on defense. Just keeps finding them. Jalen Johnson was another guy, another ball-hawking corner. Doesn't get a lot of interceptions, but he sticks to his man like glue. He sticks to his man like glue, and he knows routes very well. So, all in all, Justin Fields has the potential to be a perennial Pro Bowler, and maybe not only a Rookie of the Year candidate, maybe even an MVP candidate in the next couple of years, depending on when they play him. First game, Sunday night game against the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. But that's enough for today. That's all I have to say. If you guys like this video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on social media, and I'm out. Peace.